All right, guys. Got to be honest with you on that one. That was tough to get through. Oh my goodness. Can we please trash this 550 package after this year? That was so, people will say that, yeah, I fell asleep during that race. It was so boring. I personally am not one of those people. I cannot fall asleep like that, but I will admit, tonight I was struggling. I was struggling to stay awake during the third stage. That was a tough race to get through. It had a couple moments, like when Byron went from last to the top 10 in 15 laps. That's that might be it. That it was just that race was not that entertaining. I guess that's the right way to put it. So I'm literally laying in bed, and the instant I finish this, I'm going to sleep. But yeah, that's why it's a different format tonight. Got a nice little picture of Denny Hamlin winning. He won the race tonight. Gets his second win of 2021. That's right. Denny Hamlin went winless in the regular season. People were asking, is he ever going to win this year? Is he going to be winless? Could he win the championship winless and just completely destroy the NASCAR format? Just kind of say in your face. Well, yeah, he's getting hot. Denny Hamlin has had a really good stretch of races here. He got that win at Darlington in the Southern 500, obviously, to open up the playoffs. And he and Kyle Larson have dominated the playoffs so far. I honestly think they might have won every single stage that's not a race win. You look at Darlington, Larson and Hamlin dominated that race. You look at Richmond, that was dominated by Hamlin and Truex, really the Joe Gibbs bunch. Larson didn't really do much there. But then you look at Bristol, and it was Hamlin and Larson that really just kind of dominated that one. But in the Bristol race, you saw Harvick and Elliott up there too. But then tonight, it was once again Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson dominating this race. And different pit strategies at the end of stage 2. Really made a difference in this race. The Hendrick Motorsports cars looked really good tonight. But, just a really weird strategy call at the end of stage 2 kind of ruined their night, I guess, and kind of messed up their, I don't even know if we can call it mojo, but they were all in the top 5, top 10 for most of the race, and then they made the strategy call to pit before the end of stage 2, and they were all at the tail end of the lead lap, and that messed up the race. The only one to fully recover really was Chase Elliott. Alex Bowman had a flat tire at one point. Byron had multiple issues tonight, and Larson just got stuck in the back half of the top 10. But, Denny Hamlin advances. He doesn't have to worry about Talladega or the Roval. I'm going to be at Talladega next week, and let me tell you, that's going to be interesting. I got some fun stuff planned that you guys will enjoy. So, look forward to that. It'll be really fun. I'm telling you, it's going to be a completely new experience, something I haven't done. So, I'm really looking forward to that. That was what was getting me through this race. I was like, once this race is over, it's Talladega week. I'm going to be there. It's going to be epic. All right, let's look at the finishing results of this pretty boring, non-eventful race. Denny Hamlin just kicked everyone's butt tonight, won a stage, led 137 laps, and won. Advances to the second round of the playoff, and he is, as with the regular season championship, him and Kyle Larson going back and forth, trading punches as the championship favorites. Hamlin doesn't have the wins that Larson has. He hasn't been as flashy in terms of the wins, dominating races and stuff, but once the playoffs started, he really started to turn it on, swept the stages at Richmond, won a stage at Darlington, won the race at Darlington, won a stage at Bristol, won a stage tonight, and of course won tonight. So that 11 team is turning it on. They are on fire right now. And this is their first win at Las Vegas, actually. Hamlin struggled at Las Vegas in the past. Last year had a really good race here in the fall. But tonight he had another really good race and ends up winning, advancing himself to the next round of the playoffs. Good for him. Second place, Chase Elliott, a solid run for him. He actually led a lap tonight. He was in the top 5 most of the night, even with the weird strategy call. Got a few stage points. He ends up with a second place finish. A good comeback after last week, his little scuffle with Harvick. Second place finish, not too bad for a 9-year-old with a temper tantrum. Am I right, Kevin? Yeah, I think I'm right. Third place, Kyle Busch. Good results in his 600th career start at his home track. Good chunk of points tonight. Good for him. Fourth place, Martin Truex Jr., JGR. A very strong night for those three. Christopher Bell was a completely different story. But good run for him. Good points day. We'll look at the point standings here in a minute. Fifth place, Ryan Blaney. Solid night for him. Las Vegas is one of his better mile-and-a-half tracks. He got a good chunk of points tonight. Led a few laps at one point, but good night for him. Sixth place, the best non-playoff driver tonight, Tyler Reddick, actually drove up into second place and was challenging Denny Hamlin for the lead at one point. Ends up falling back a bit in the pit cycle. Stayed out a few laps longer to try to catch a caution. Could not. Ends up with a sixth place finish. Seventh place, Brad Keselowski. He's won it the Las Vegas Motor Speedway a few times. Seventh place finish, solid points day for him. Eighth place, Kurt Busch, another non-playoff guy who was eliminated last week, along with Tyler Reddick. Good top 10 finish for them. Good 750th start for him at his home track. Ninth place, Kevin Harvick, solid day for him. He was in the top 10 most of the day. He got up in the top 5 for a bit, but ends up with the top 10. 10th place, Kyle Larson, really dominated the first half of this race when the sun was up, when the track was nice, hot, and slick. But that strategy call, just put him back in traffic. And at night in the traffic, he just could not go as fast as he wanted to. He could not slice through the field. Ends up with the 10th place finish, led 95 laps, got a playoff point. Disappointing result for sure, but they still have a huge gap on the playoff bubble. 11th, Joey Logano. A pretty mad night from them. 12th, Matt DiBenedetto. He drove into the top 5 at one point, but ends up 12th. 13th, Austin Dillon. 14th, Chase Briscoe. He almost missed the race today because he was getting on a commercial flight and it got delayed, but he ends up making it to the race and finishes 14th. 15th, Daniel Suarez. 16th, Bubba Wallace. Was actually in the top 10 for a bit there for a few minutes. 17th, Ricky Stenhouse. 18th, William Byron. He had multiple problems today. He had a top 5 car, one of the best cars tonight. Started at the back, drove up to the top 10. Had a bad pit stop, went a lap down, was able to get the wave around. Drives back up into the top 10, up to like 6th place, and then has a flat tire during some weird scenario. Finishes 18th. 19th, Eric Almirola. 20th, Ryan Newman. 21st, Daytona 500 winner, Michael McDowell. 22nd, Alex Bowman. He was in the top 10 most of the night, got some stage points, but unfortunately had a flat tire at the end of this race. Ends up finishing 22nd. Big hit to their playoff hopes. 23rd, Ross Chastain. 24th, Christopher Bell was just off tonight. They were just bad tonight. Just straight up. I don't know what it was, but they were just not good. 25th, Chris Buescher. 26th, Eric Jones. 27th, Anthony Alfredo. 28th, Ryan Preece. 29th. Cole Custer, 30th, Corey LaJoie, 31st, Cody Ware. Golly, he was racing for the win there at the end. That was a bit scary for Denny Hamlin. 32nd, Justin Haley. 33rd, BJ McLeod. 34th, Quinn Houff. 35th, Garrett Smithley. 36th, Josh Bilicki. 37th, Joey Gase had a terrible crash. It was scary, guys. His car was in the air. He lost a left rear wheel tire, and he hit the wall extremely hard. He eventually went to a local hospital to get checked up and stuff. I don't know if he's okay. I'll let you guys know in the community post area or in the comments of this video if he's okay. But yeah, really scary accident. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's nothing severe. But yeah, just really scary to see a crash like that and for the driver to have to go get checked up after the race at a hospital. And then 38th, J.J. Yeley. That is the results from this race. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it was just a boring race. I wasn't entertained. It just, the 550 package, it's had its moments in the past. The spring Las Vegas race was a solid race. It wasn't bad. But then you have this, and I just don't get it. I don't know what it is, but this race was just, I did not enjoy this race, and I don't know, it was just not a fun race. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate it at a 4 out of 10, just a straight up 4 out of 10. It was boring. I did not enjoy it. It had 2 good moments that I can remember. That is about it. And yeah, Denny Hamlin advances himself. The playoff bubble, here's what it's looking like. Denny Hamlin is advanced with his win at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson has a 57-point gap. That's a full race. Kyle Busch has a 35-point gap. Martin Truex Jr., 31 points. That's a safe gap, but Talladega's next, so you never know. Blaney has a 24-point gap. Elliott a 22-point gap. That's a decent gap, but Talladega's next, so you never know. Then it gets to the really scary zone. Logano +6, Keselowski +4. That is one wreck away from being in a must-win at the Roval. Byron -4, Harvick -7, Bowman -13, Bell -25. Bell is not looking too good, guys. Bowman's not looking great. Harvick and Byron, that can flip in one stage, but Bowman and Bell are going to have to pick it up next week at Talladega. But yeah, thanks for watching this, or I guess technically listening to this. I just put a bunch of pictures over it, but yeah, I just didn't like this race, guys. I almost fell asleep during it. Yeah, the 550 package, it's got to go, man. I'm sorry. It's got to go. Like, I just did not enjoy this race at all. It was not fun. It was one of the worst races I've watched, at least in recent memory. They got to do something different. Las Vegas is a really good racetrack. It's a good mile-and-a-half track. It's proven that in the past. Heck, it's proven it. It's had its moments with this package, but once you get a long green flag run, it just seems like nothing can happen. That's what happened in the spring. In the first half of the spring race, there were a lot of cautions. You stack them up, you get a bunch of restarts. They go 3 and 4 wide, and they get new leaders, different leaders. But then the second half of that spring race, Larson just ran away with it under the green flag run, and it was boring. And that's what today was: long green flag runs, boring. We gotta do something different. Yeah, have a great rest of your day. See you sometime this week with a new video.